Hi, Janky Jane here. Yes, I know. I had an eye procedure and my eyes look like I've been in a fight. Well, actually, I have been in a fight. That's what I want to talk to you about. Just try and ignore the swollen eyeballs. So, Mr. No occasionally gets on my nerves, and yesterday was one of those times. Anyway, the argument started in the kitchen over Tupperware lids, so you know it was serious. Anyway, after probably a half an hour of going back and forth, trying to remember every bad thing he's ever done in his life so I could share it with him again, I decided I have a camper. I have a camper. I have a bed in it. I have electricity in it. I have a refrigerator in it. I have snacks in it. I'm running away. So I told him, I said, that's it. I'm running away. I'm leaving you. He didn't act that concerned, but I thought, given enough time away, he would get more concerned. We've been married for 46 years, so I have run away a couple of other times and came back. So, not overly worried right off the bat. So, I go out, take a couple things from the fridge, get in my minivan camper, and leave. Well, I kind of got at the end of the driveway and thought, I'm not sure where I'm going to go. I don't want to go that far because I think he's going to miss me and email me or text me and tell me to come home because he can't live without me. So I don't want to get too far off. So anyway, I decided I'm not made for like living off the land, so I'm not going to be in the woods. So I decided to go to my daughter's house. She lives in this swanky cul-de-sac. All the houses are fancy and they have gardeners and that kind of stuff. Anyway, so I got there in the afternoon and I pull up and I have to park in the road because their driveway is really, I'm not going to be able to sleep with that kind of a tilt going on. Anyway, her husband works from home. So I'd been there for probably 20 minutes, maybe no more. And I'd been just working things out of my van, getting things, moved around, getting the heater going, all of this kind of stuff. And I hear ding, ding, and it's a text. Well, we have a kind of a family text, and he, sarcastic girl's husband, works from home, so he looks out the window and he sees me in the road and he writes to her and says, and I wrote these down because they were cracking me up, forgets that I'm on the text string, and he said, something is up, your mother is in the road. And she writes back, she's at work. What do you mean she's in the road? He writes, she's in her van in the road, and I think she's put up curtains. I put up my privacy things. And now she's put a cooler on the top of her car. Well, I had taken some stuff from the fridge and I didn't want to waste my electricity on my refrigerator. I live in Minnesota. Stick the cooler on the car, no electricity needed. Hello. Anyway, he said, I don't know what's going on. You need to take care of this. And she said, the grandboys had just gotten home from school, and she said, send the boys out and ask her what she's doing in the road and what's going on. So he sends them out after he takes a picture of my van from their front window and sends it to her by text so I can see it. The kids came in the house, and he said, apparently, what did Grandma say? And the kids said, Grammy now lives in her car. And she wants to know if we have any extra Halloween candy left over, we're supposed to bring it to her. So my daughter's, it takes a while because she's at work. She's like, fine, send out candy, whatever. Just deal with it. Then he writes and he says, the neighbors are looking. They're wondering why there is a van in the road with a cooler on the top. This isn't going to work for us. She writes back. And she said, we'll take care of it. So he sends the boys out again and asks how long I'm going to be there. So I tell the boys and send it back in. And he writes her back and says, your mom says she's run away from home and she's only going back when your dad says he's sorry. Anyway, I'm laughing like a hyena in my van, just thinking this is great. So the boys are having a great time. They're running back and forth. So I said, boys, go ask your dad what's for dinner. So they go back, they ask him. He texts her, what the hell? Your mother now wants to know what's for dinner. You need to call your father and take care of this or something like that. And she's like, I'm at work. You're going to have to take care of this. And so anyway, I was having a great time, frankly. This running away from home was really kind of a lot of fun. And I got a whole bunch of extra Halloween candy in my van, which was good since I didn't take much to eat and I only had like a bunch of expired granola bars in there. So anyway, I thought that I would explain it to him. So I write to him and I said, I am in your road and I'm planning to stay here for a day or so because I have run away from home. And he writes back, okay. Okay, that was it. I think he's actually afraid of me. I'm not 100% on that, but the poor guy. Anyway, so it's November and I live in Minnesota and I had that heater going great guns and it still was not really toasty in my van. So I thought I would, adopt forgiveness and forgive him and go home. So I texted my daughter and said, okay, if you send out 2 Diet Cokes and more candy, I'll leave. So she writes to him and said, send out Diet Cokes and she'll go away. I bet she will. So he sends out Diet Cokes. I start the car and drive away. Ding, ding. His text comes. He's like, I don't think I'm ever going to understand your family. It was great. Anyway, so I really kind of like having a van that I can run away from when the, hubby starts to act like an idiot. But I have now adopted forgiveness, so all is well. I'm at home and I'm sipping my Diet Coke. So I'll keep you posted.